If you're also tired of using the Meta Editor IDE and its severe lack of features, and you want to write MQL code in VS Code or Cursor with all their amazing capabilities, this video is made just for you. Don't miss it! Hello, I'm Mobin Zarkar. I'm a quant trader and a financial markets programmer. And today we're going to go through the steps of migrating and transitioning from Meta Editor to IDEs that are based on VS Code, such as Visual Studio Code itself or Cursor. So to get started, we're going to use an extension called MQL Tools. If we go to the extension section and search for MQL Tools, we can easily install this extension here. If you pay attention, this extension also installs another extension for us called C alongside it. The second thing we need to do is open our main MQL5 folder here. Keep in mind that to use this plugin, your main and reference folder must absolutely be the MQL5 folder. That means you can't select any of the internal folders or any external folders one level above this. After you click on Select Folder, as you can see, our code will be displayed here, and there are two small things we need to do before we can fully start using it. The first thing you need to do is open your command palette. Select MQL tool and then choose the Create Configuration option. This will automatically create a configuration for you based on your VS Code software. The second thing you need to do is apply some settings within the MQL tool extension itself. To do this, we open the extension. In the settings section, we go to the Meta Editor path, which means the directory. Here we need to provide the path to our Meta Editor executable file to the extension. To do this, you need to go to your C drive or wherever you have installed your Meta Editor or Meta Trader. Select the folder where you want to activate your Meta Editor. Since I have 3 here, I'll use the third option and I'll paste the path to my Meta Editor file here. Then you will need to add a backslash and carefully save the complete name of your Meta Editor application along with its file extension at the very end of the path. That's all we need to do here. Now we can open one of our file slats, say one of the classes we hadn't. The features of this extension will be activated for us. Alright, let's see what features this MQL Tools extension offers us. To do this, we'll open the extensions page and go over the list of features it provides, focusing on the most important ones. In the first section, you can create a new MQL file. That is, you can go into, for example, your indicators, right-click where you want, select New MQL file, and choose the type of file here. For instance, if you want to create a new class, just give it a name. And now you can also select the parent class here and confirm it. As you can see, it creates a sample class for you here in the same format that you actually have in MQL5, and you can use it. Of course, I personally don't use this part. A bit later, I'll tell you which plugin I personally use for this task. The next option it gives us, which is very important, is the compile option. That means you have an MQL file or an MQL5 file. For example, this indicator that we wrote as a sample, although it's not actually an indicator. When you click on the compile option, it checks your syntax and gives you exactly the same output that the Meta Editor compiler provides. If you have an error in any of these sections, for example, if I delete this semicolon and then click on the compile option, as you can see, it shows me the relevant error. Another great feature it has is that it displays errors to us online and in real time. That means wherever you have an error, it underlines it with a red line. And when you hover your mouse over it, it shows you exactly what the error is and which extension here. It's MQ Tools has reported this error. Moving on. Yes. Next, the option that becomes available to us is to show or hide files that are in ex4 or ex5 format. In this way, if you right-click on your navigator section, from the option that appears at the end of the right-click menu, you can hide or show files that have the ex5 extension. Another really useful option it has, which can really help you when including and adding your files together. Works like this. Suppose you want to use a library, for example. The libraries we're opening here are the default ones, and they're already included with their paths specified. But suppose, for example, in the comprehensive indicator I've meticulously written here, I genuinely want to include an MQH file that I have personally and carefully crafted myself, perhaps for a specific and important purpose. All I need to do is open the main file where I want to include my class file, then right-click on the file I want to include and select Insert MQH from Include. And as you can see, it automatically adds the command and the full path of that file here for me. To correct our mistake, we'll delete this and move on to the next option that comes up. There's also an option for compiling scripts, and we use this plugin in script mode as well. I personally don't use this option, but you can add the name of any file you want at the beginning of your file. I don't use it myself. Another option it has is that you can automatically add a comment for a function you've written. For example, I've written a function here. Now I want to add a complete comment for this function. All I need to do is right-click on the function, go to MQ Tools, and here as, if we can find it, create function comment. As you can see, since this function doesn't have any input or output parameters, it automatically generates and completes the relevant comment for us. Also, if you pay attention here, it gives us a lot of options. You can open your trading terminal or MetaTrader, and you can also open your meta editor. You can add various icons as input to it, actually. You can add DLLs. Also, one issue that actually exists in auto format is with the year, month, day format, which you can address using this option. You can add colors. For example, let's say I want to choose this color and put it here. Now, for example, if you want to be a bit more precise here, we can say this should be our sample color. Now I want to choose a specific color. All I need to do is right-click or use MQ Tools and specify here that I want to select a color. Now with all its settings, it will automatically add it for me here. It's an amazing plugin, and we're truly grateful to its creator for making it available to everyone for free. Also, if we've used the print command in different parts of our code, we can right-click and use the comment out all print option to turn all the print statements we have into comments. Or we can uncomment them. Now, as you can see, all the print statements have been uncommented, or we can simply delete all the print statements altogether. It's that simple, and as you can see, it offers some really great features, which are explained here. Actually, you can add regions for folders as well. Though I personally don't use this feature, I just try to explain the ones that are important. You can even use this extension on Mac. In its previous version, it had a lot of issues on Mac and Linux. But now, especially on M1 chips and Apple's own chips. However, in this version, some really great changes that were made about 2 months ago allow you to have access to some very good features. But the method I still use myself for formatting or getting the original format of classes is using an extension called File Template. As you can see, you can install this extension and easily set an initial format for any file format you want to create, and then you can load that format onto your new classes and files. To do this, you need to go to the folder where the file template files themselves are located. For this, you open your file manager, go to the user section, then the remote section. Now for me, it's called remote. It will definitely be different for you. Select your user, go to .vscode, then enter the extensions folder. From there, this folder you see is related to the file template extension that we just added. Inside the folder, you can see the templates available for different formats and various languages. For this, I will copy one of these. For example, at the end of CSS, its name is format, which will be the same as template, but I will call it CPP for C++. You should also choose CPP. Then we open this file, which I will now open with VS Code itself. Open, and here you come. You put and write a basic and simple template for the file you want. For example, if you want it to be your class file. For example, I'll bring you a sample of my file here. This is the format I use for my classes. When you save this as CPP Tamil, from now on, whenever you want to add a new file, for example, in your include, you name it, let's say I call it sample class MQL. Now, when I open this, of course, sorry, since I already had sample class here, it's giving me an error, but I'll just delete it. This was a format we created using the MQL Tools plugin. But here, all you need to do is press Ctrl plus Shift plus P or Command plus Shift plus P on Mac and use the TMPL and Create Template option. As you can see, it has brought up exactly the same file for me. Now, since I have a specific include here, it's giving me an error for this include. But you can do it. Well, as you can see, you don't need this and your template file is ready. As you can see, since I use a specific class in all my classes, I've set this as the default, and in future videos, I'll also show you the features of this file. Also, if you want it to look a bit nicer, I'll put the link to my own interface formats and settings down below, and you can use them. To do this, all you need to do is go into your user settings, which are in JSON format, and then paste the file that I've provided for you there. Here, I'm copying it from another ID that I have, and then I'll add a comma at the end and paste it in. Okay, it says to restart now, and as you can see, it restarts and the fonts change for me. Also, I personally use a specific theme called Winter is Coming in VS Code, or the cursor I use. You can install this theme as well. Once you have successfully completed the installation process, the application will then prompt you to carefully choose the visual theme that best suits your preferences. As a direct and immediate result, you will clearly observe that your code is now presented in a significantly more stylish, aesthetically pleasing, and remarkably clean manner, greatly enhancing its readability and overall visual appeal. Since I personally use Cursor, you should know that Cursor does not support the C++ extension. Because this extension is developed by Microsoft itself and is banned on that IDE, there is a way for you to run this extension along with the MQLtools extension on Cursor. If you're interested, you can watch the next video using the link provided for the following video. If you found this video helpful, please hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe. Wishing you continued success and ultimate victory, this comprehensive tutorial video was made possible and generously supported by your invaluable subscription, your enthusiastic likes, and your thoughtful comments. We extend our sincerest gratitude for your unwavering support, which truly helps us continue creating valuable content. Thank you so very much for supporting us.